Hello, everybody. Um, right now, I'm going to go through a couple things that I just got recently, including the last few standing or walking Liberty half dollars. The last three I got, a 38D dime, which was cheaper than online prices are right now, and a 37S quarter. Now, I talked about those yesterday on my live stream briefly, but I don't know I covered this very much. AG Stacker sent me this and a Christmas card. Well, I just bought one of these not too long ago for $5. And if you find a carved out dollar or half dollar or dime or quarter, don't pay very much for them because they've lost a lot of weight. Anyway, I did a video for these. This is a 2001 and 2003 $10 bill with the bigger head. I don't know if I have another $10 bill in my wallet or not, but let's see if I do. Well, nope. Anyway, I went to the antique shop to look at some of this coin glass, but I didn't like what I was seeing. Some of it just didn't look quite right, so I passed on buying any. But he had a couple like this. One of them didn't look right, and the other one, the frosting seemed to be off-centered, which is kind of weird, and I didn't think that looked right either, so I did not buy them. But I did add another silver bar to my stack, which there will be a video for that going live. The one I got looks like this. It's a Morgan dollar one. Hello, AG Stacker. How you doing? Thanks for sending me this. It's pretty cool. Kind of goes along with this. If I can just find a Standing Liberty one cut like this, it'll be complete the set. Now, since AG's here, pull out something, get a hold of it. Couple things that he got and sent to me. Gotta find the Aztec bar. What is that? And the other thing, I want to thank you, AG Stacker, for sending these things. The silver star was really neat. The button, the poured button, that was pretty cool too because I did not have a button before. And I definitely didn't have one of these kind of silver bars. It looks hand poured, but it probably isn't. It's kind of neat though. But yeah, the actual silver bars that are straight up bar shape, that's my two silver bars. So I increased my silver bar stack by 100%, which is kind of neat. But yeah, I went back to the place where I've seen several of these. There was a clear one, two amber ones, and a ruby red one. But something about them told me something didn't look quite right. One of the amber ones, this stuff was like the frosting was a little off centered, and I've never seen that on these before. So that was kind of weird. And the other one didn't seem to have very many details. But I did see a ruby red. Yeah, I kind of found that out later after you sent it to me. I went searching for them. That's a neat piece. I like it. And I guess the shape is a little different on any of them that you would get. But I thank you for sending that. That's an awesome, awesome thing to send somebody. You have something coming in the mail. But no, this is pretty neat. The reason why it's neat is it's the S Mint. In terms of Washington silver quarters, 37S is the third lowest mintage. This makes for 5 in my stack, which I have 5. That means I have 5 of these, which maybe someday they might actually start getting valuable because people want to get the full set, and they say, it's hard to get this one because I can't find it. Of course, the 32 S and D are real tough ones. But I did make a video for these $10 bills with the big head, in 2001 and in 2003. The video will go live here in a little bit, as will the mail call video that the stuff you sent me. But right now, the jewelry guy ran out of these. He has no coins in the shop. Last thing I bought from him, though, was this. It's Canadian coins. A couple dollar coins and a few quarters. He wrote $2.50 on it, but he let me have it for $2 even. I guess he didn't want to dig around for 50 cents. But it's 3 1/4 in Canadian. The exchange rate on Canadian, I haven't checked it in ages. And then, don't know if you saw this last night. I served in Fort Leonard Wood. That's where I did my basic, and then I went back one time. And they didn't have these when I went there, so but my coin dealer had a whole bunch of challenge coins and the same spins. And I went ahead and got this because I actually served at Fort Leonard Wood, so it's not a stretch of the imagination or any weird stuff. I mean, some people say if you claim you were somewhere and you weren't, it's what they call that, false valor or something. But I actually served at Fort Leonard Wood. So to me, that's not any thing wrong with getting this. And I would say that I served there, but this wasn't given to me by them, if anybody asked. But it's pretty neat. Thanks, AG. Well, I served back right before the Gulf War. In fact, if I'd re-upped, I would have went to the Gulf War. I'm almost 100% positive. Now, I don't know if you saw my video for this. And I don't know if you've seen these before. This one is a reproduction coin glass. And you'll notice right away that the coin part isn't frosted. That's how you tell these. You see it and it looks like this, it's a reproduction. So it won't be as expensive or nice. But I got it for teaching purposes, and I did see a reproduction ruby nappy dish. which is kind of neat too. But this, what they do, if they try to make this look like it is the older ones, they'll sandblast this. And what I read about that, when they do it, it loses details, and then these little bumps around the edges, they get smoothed out too, and it just doesn't look right. So if you didn't know that they made reproduction ones for this, it's a good thing to know, because then you won't be buying one thinking it's really old, and it's not as old as it appears. This one also has a really big air bubble. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it right by that rim. And I think there's another one right here. Oh, you've seen some that's been messed with? Yeah. Well, what happens is they sandblast this, it knocks a lot of detail off of it to give it that look like these have. You can kind of make out most of the details, and the little bumps aren't worn down. These things don't have the greatest clarity on the actual coin part anyway, but yeah, not frosted is a sure sign it's a reproduction. I paid $4 for that other one over there just for teaching purposes. I've seen some of these with 1886 on them too, and that makes me wonder too, because 1887 is when the company that makes these entered into the business of making glass and stuff, from what I understand. And it's like I said, the guy had a clear one of these and two ambers and a ruby red one, but something looked a little off on them. So it was kind of like, I don't know if I want to buy them. I want to make sure if I'm buying them that I feel like it's the actual real piece and not a reproduction. And, some of them are newer than others. Let's put this back. This ashtray here, the big amber ashtray I'm almost 100% certain this is probably a 60s to 70s. Well, I don't think that's going to help on this. 60s to 70s or so when they made this. Hold on a second. We'll put that up. Oh, cool. But this one isn't a reproduction, but it's not very old. But if you throw silver around in the moat, then it's cool. Now, I've been looking at a blue one online, but I tried to contact the seller a few weeks ago, and they never replied. So I'm like, they really want to buy from somebody who's not going to reply, at least? I mean, I asked a simple question because they had pointed to one of the corners because it had been dropped and chipped. As far as I can tell, this isn't chipped, and it's a blue one, so I really wanted it, but if they're not going to reply, I'm like, do I really want to even make an offer on this or make a bid? But I like this one. It's a good size. It's about maybe 8 inches across. It's a nice dish. Let's get that out of the way a second. My video for this one just went live. This amber flute was full of dimes, and I'd done a video for it. It just went live. This one has the Liberty Bell on it, which is kind of neat. I think the date on it might actually be 1886. It's kind of hard to read. It's pretty real hard to read. But since all the little bumps appear to be right, I don't know, hell, this could be a reproduction one, because the bumps don't have any frosting on them. And if this is It is a reproduction one that someone blasted. They did a pretty good job of avoiding hitting the dots. So I don't know. I mean, well, that one seems to have a little more detail left on it, but it's hard telling. I don't know. Do you think this is reproduction, or do you think it's someone sandblasted a reproduction, or do you think it's actually one they made back in the day? So I really don't know. But I like the fact it has the Liberty Bell on it. That's kind of neat. Most of them have the torch and the bird, the eagle with the date. All right, let's move on to something else. I know you like selling ship coins. I don't know if you've seen this one. This is the Endeavour. It's a 50-cent New Zealand coin. If I can get it to focus good. That's a pretty neat looking coin. Of course, Queen Elizabeth's on the other side. It says New Zealand, of course. This is what year is that? 78, I think. Looks like it's pretty much uncirculated. Oh, so you believe the flute I just showed to be original? Well, good. All right. But I bet you like that selling ship, don't you? I know I do. I'd buy a few of these, if I could find them in a coin, world coin tray or something. I'd buy a few more of them. I do have the Captain Cook one, but it's not handy. But I still like this sailing ship design. And if I remember correctly, I sent you at least one like this, the halfpenny with the golden hind on it. This is a 64 one, which, yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I sent you one of these too. In one of the first time I sent you something. But sometimes you find one that's seen a lot of wear and tear, like this. I'm not sure what date it is, but it is King George on it. And someone drilled a hole to wear it as a pendant. But so they did get used a lot. You can kind of tell. It's the same back design on these. This one's near uncirculated. And this one's circulated like nobody's business. And in terms of Mexican coins, this one's pretty funny. 1980. Almost looked like it said 1880, but it's a 19. Big hole drilled in it. But it is a Mexican coin, and I quite like Mexican coins with the eagle eating the snake. But the question about the one pendant the guy had that had this kind of an Aztec warrior on it. This is the actual old copper coin that Mexico put out. This is a 55. It's a big copper coin too, because Morgan dollar. It's not quite as big as a Morgan dollar, and a whole lot smaller. It's a big, big coin. I've got a few of these. I'd like to get more of them. They're not really worth a whole lot, but they still are pretty neat. What else? Oh, we have on peso that doesn't look like it's been circulated too much. 71. It's not silver, but you can see the detail on his ear and his collar and stuff are pretty good. This side's pretty flat, so any wear would be across the entire surface. It's a neat coin, though. I've got quite a few of them. This is a silver bar I bought the other day. Went back to the coin shop on Saturday. It's a Morgan one. And it's got a little HM down there in the corner. But the coin dealer guy had a bunch of these, and they rapidly sold out. Because I got one, and then I went back to yesterday, and there's none. So I'm glad I bought it when I did, because if I didn't buy it, he wouldn't have any more. I don't know. Let's see if you actually see the video for this. It's a 1914, and it's French coin, copper. I don't know whether that's damage or just pockets in the design. It looks like someone dipped this in shellac or something, which is kind of weird, but I put a video up for this and it didn't do too bad for world coins. But I don't know. I want to get more coin glass. I actually want the big blue cigar one. And I might end up buying it from the person anyway, even though they haven't responded. They've had it up for auction for almost a month and no one's even bidding on it. So I make any offer, they're bound to take it. I know if I was trying to sell it and no one's even made a bid on it, I'd probably take an offer. But I do thank you for these, AG. That button's pretty cool. It's got a skull and crossbones on it. It's 10 gram. Someone stamped 10 gram or hammered 10 gram into it. And I believe that's 3 nines fine. That's what it says. Pretty thick. But, I mean, you know. And the silver star is pretty cool, too. It is 3.7 grams of silver. I've had this out to show it a few times. When I first saw this, I was thinking it was glass almost, because sitting on this, it almost looks like clear. It's really cool. I like that a lot too. But I'm still thinking about something to get you to send you to kind of counter the gifts that these were, because from what I sent you before, this alone outweighs it by quite a bit. And I do have an interest in Egyptology stuff, the pyramids and all that stuff, so this was a perfect bar to send me, actually. I like this a lot. It's real cool. But that's not to say this isn't pretty cool too. Now, the coin dealer I used to go to, him and his dad, him and his dad used to carve these a lot and make necklaces. I don't know that, you know, there's a chance this might have been one he did, because he used to sell to people all over the area in other cities and other things, and people move all the time, so the pendants that they made could have got anywhere. And he might have done this one too, but I didn't buy it from him. I bought it from the jeweler guy because he had it. It's kind of funny having the hole there, but if you want it to look kind of cool, just line up the design properly. And then this looks like a super high relief coin, which I kind of like how that looks. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. It's one way to display this and make it look different. But yeah, the last few weeks or so, I've been looking at half dollars online, and you can't touch them for $10. APMEX, Money Metals, Hero Bullion, JM Bullion, any of them that have them. If you want a $half, you're gonna probably pay about $12.50 or more per one, unless you buy a whole bunch of them. You might get a little bit of a discount, but you won't get them for $10. So that was pretty much for me a no-brainer, because I could walk to this guy's shop from where I live. It's only about 4, maybe 5 blocks away, and I could, if he had something, and I could walk and get it, and I wouldn't have to spend any actual money to go there to get it. Because if you buy these online, you'll have to pay for shipping unless you buy enough to get free shipping. And then if you use a credit card, you'll probably pay more, because they like, if they don't charge you more, then they have to pay a fee for every swipe, which blows my mind when you go to a place like Dollar General or Dollar Tree or something, and somebody buys one item and swipes a card. I'm like, dude, can't you carry some cash? Cash is important. Should always have some US cash on hand in case you need to do something. This ain't very much, it's $20 total, but and these 2 10s, I'm not really going to save them for any purpose because they're really not rare. You just don't see the big head dollars like this anymore because they went out and got circulated, and paper money don't last very long. Little stacking investments. We were just talking about coin glass, me and AG Stacker, because he's got several pieces. Show you this real quick. In case you're ever at an antique shop and you're looking at coin glass and you don't know that if you pick up one that looks like this, it's not old, it's a reproduction one. It doesn't have any frosting on the coins, so right away that would be different. But if it doesn't have the frosting, it's not old, so don't pay as much. Oh, heck. That's pretty weird. Eagle, eagle. And then it goes torch, eagle, torch, eagle, torch, eagle, eagle. That's probably because it's an odd number of sides, which I don't know if the old ones were like that. Yeah, I've seen quite a few. I've seen some red pieces I'd like to get, but they want a lot of money for them. For the red ones, the ruby. Oh God, what was it? A big one of the oval bowls. One of the places had it, and the guy wanted like $50-something or something. And someone had written in the dust in the bottom of the bowl, "overpriced." I thought that was hilarious, because I guess the person ain't been in there in a while, and it just got dust in it. Cool. Okay. These guys are saying hello to each other. And then he said he found 4 pieces. Have you ever seen a reproduction one like this? I don't know what's your favorite color of this stuff. Me, I kind of like the blue about the most. I mean, this stuff's not bad, but the blue is just, the amber, and an amber piece is pretty sure to be original. Like this toothpick holder. Looks pretty cool. I like the amber, but most people don't really like the amber a whole lot. Hold on. We'll get the blue piece out. We'll just set it right down here softly. Got some dirt in it. Well, anyway. Yeah, well, on the frosted, you have to be careful that someone ain't took a reproduction one and sandblasted it. And they say if they do, a couple dead giveaways is the little dots around the edge, and some of the details just kind of look murky, more so than they actually do on the piece. I don't know if I can get this up. There, 1887. So if this wasn't original, those little bumps on it wouldn't look right. Liberty Bell, a colonial soldier, which not every one of them has that. Oh yeah, yeah. All that's probably going to be real high. 93 Carson City. Probably fish. It's pretty hilarious. But anyway, I really like this blue and the torch. It's a really nice color. And this, if you guys have handled this, but anybody hasn't handled this stuff, it's remarkably heavy. Of course, this glass is really thick on the edge, and the bottom is pretty thick too. It's a rather nice piece. It's beautiful, actually. I'm like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, and I saw that they only wanted like, I think it was $22. I was like, I'm buying it. Then when I got up to the front, I said, I'm going to use cash. They said, we'll give you 10% off. Well, great. I made it less than the green one I saw, which was damaged and is now gone. Because I was considering buying the green one that looks like this. It's an emerald green, though. It's not this olive green. It's much brighter and lighter colored than this is. But I really like this cone glass, and this blue is just super, super cool. And if you get a light behind it, light it up a little bit, it looks really good too. But it's not real easy to get much light behind it, but I can use AG Stacker sticker and you can kind of see what it does to the Liberty Bell. Your girlfriend's taking over the amber collection. Well, at least the amber's not the real expensive stuff usually. It's because what I understand, the emerald green, the blue, and the ruby red are all collectible, and that means they generally cost more. The big olive green pieces, the amber and the clear, not so much. But the blue is just really cool. Where's that amber ash? Oh, I think. That. I know it's here somewhere. Oh God, I had to search for it. The smaller ashtray. And it's amber. And it's kind of heavy too, even though it's not real big. It's a neat piece though. I haven't got any red either. No red and no emerald green yet. But I saw an emerald green little picture. Guy wanted $30 for it, I think. Yeah, there's a lot of reproduction stuff on all this, so you have to be careful unless you're just buying it to have it because it's neat looking, as long as it's not real expensive. Because a reproduction one like this would probably be half what this cost. And if I remember correctly, this was I want to say $10, which I didn't think was real bad. But it's a neat piece. Not quite as neat as the other amber one I got. It's a newer one, but it's bigger with the moat. And if you didn't see it, I can pull that back out. Just give me a second. This is a really big coin in the middle with really sharp details. I think this was made in the 60s and 70s or something like that. It's got some wear on it, but it's not too bad. And geez, how much did I pay for this one? $11, I think. I think it's how much it was. It wasn't terribly expensive. Halfway expected old country coin collectors show up. Uh-oh. Black Optic. I'm not sure what Black Optic is, but maybe make a video with a piece. That would be cool. But this with the moat means I can make the silver moat, which I've got pictures and video with Morgan dollars and peace dollars in it, and then a bunch of random silver halves, dimes, and quarters. But I like this piece. That corner feels a little sharp. I wonder if it's got a slight ding on it. And it does. Just a little bitty bump. Felt too sharp. So it's probably been dropped at least once, but it didn't hurt it too bad. And I didn't even notice that till today when I was rubbing my finger against it, and I said, it feels a little sharp. Actually, it's got about 3 little tiny chips along on the edge. One here, and one there. What can you do? It happens to these things. They get dropped. Stuff happens to stuff all the time. That's how sometimes when you get a Morgan dollar, if you don't look at the rim very close, sometimes they'll have bad dings on them. And if you think everything else is nice and you want to try to grade it, you got to look at the rim too, because that's part of the coin and they grade that. So if you have a ring ding on your Morgan dollar, otherwise looks perfect, they'll probably say damaged and note the rim damage. You got to be careful about sending anything off for grading. I mean, especially if you don't look at it very close. You have to think about it a lot because it costs a lot of money to grade something. And it's funny, I heard a saying, and I don't know how true it is, but somebody who has done videos about sending coins for grading, cool, AG, have a good night. But he's talking about grading coins. He said, if you need your Morgan dollar to be a certain grade, like say Mint State 65, he said it'll almost always come back 64. That's the Coin Geek. And Stacking Investment saying goodbye. I'm about ready to say goodbye too. I've talked about stuff for a while now. You might notice this is a 21 Morgan dollar with the date ground off. There's a story about that. can see it's gone. A coin dealer I go to, or used to go to a lot, said his dad used to go to Reno and gamble, and they had slot machines that used Morgan dollars. And to prevent people from wanting to take the Morgan dollars home, because this was in the 70s when a dollar, Morgan dollar, was worth $1 because the silver content wasn't over $1 in it. He said they use these for slot machines and to prevent people from taking them and go back and grind the date off. And they probably used Ike dollars too, but you didn't have to grind the date off them because they're not real old. But that seems plausible. And he also said he's seen bags of them, so they're somewhat common. But if you can get it for a lot less than a Morgan dollar usually costs you, then it becomes something that you might think about buying. I mean, it had to be pretty cheap though with the date ground off. But looking at the overall look of the design, I'm 100% certain it's a 21. Can make out just what looks like the bottom piece of the one right there. I don't know how well you will see it, but I'm 100% certain it's a 21 Morgan dollar. Now, when talking about Morgan dollars, you go online to buy any Morgan dollars, peace dollars, anything like that, and you go to somebody like AmPmex or something, and you look up coal Morgan dollars, or worse than coal, even. And they say some of them might have holes drilled in them. They might be super worn out like this. 1890, and it's an Orleans mint. There's the O, pretty sharp still on that. But if you can buy this for $20, which I did, I'm like, that's a good $5 less than what ApMex wants for what they call less than coal. And coal Morgan dollars, most of the online bullion dealers lately, they've been wanting over $30 for them. So getting these for $20, I'm like, that to me was a no-brainer. So someone offers me a Morgan dollar for $20, especially with where silver has been the last few, months, I'm going to be all over it. If you like constitutional and you like Morgan dollars, even though these are worn, each one of these coins kind of tells a story by the wear. It means that this was in a lot of people's hands over the years to get this much wear. A lot of people spend it on stuff. It might have been someone's last dollar at one point, more than once. It's in 1879, Philadelphia. But for $20, I'm like, I'm going to buy a Morgan dollar for $20. Now, granted, if you find one that has a big hole in it, there he is. I wondered when he'd show up. Hey, old CC. See? Now, this past summer, I was looking around. Slippery. Found this 21 Denver Morgan dollar. It's 1921. Big hole drilled in it. The coin dealer wanted $18, which for me, I'm like, I'm going to buy a Morgan dollar for $18, even if it does have a hole in it. Basically, to help fill up my. Well, what about $18, even though it has a hole? Was that a good price? Because I bought this summer for the treasure chest challenge to have dollar coins in it. Because I didn't want it just to be quarters and dimes and stuff. I wanted to be able to put some dollar coins in there. Now, out of all the ones I bought, this 1878 one with a hole, out of all the ones I bought, was the most expensive, but it is an 1878 estimate. So I was like, that's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and get that, even though it cost more than what I really wanted to pay for coins for a treasure chest challenge. But this one might be a little more iffy on your price, because it's about the same size hole, and it's got a little hoop so you can wear it like a necklace. But it's a 22 piece dollar. And if memory serves me correct, he asked $22 for it. I bought it anyway, just because I thought it looked neat. It might be a little higher than what I should have paid for it. But one of these are all pretty slick. One of them, the date's totally gone. We'll find it real quick. All these 7 were 20 bucks a piece. And this one, with the date worn off, he allowed me to buy it for $18. Now, it's got part of the top of the date, and it looks like 1888 maybe. It looks like the shape of 3/8, but it's gone enough you can't tell what date it is. But there is a bit of an estimate left on it. I can get it to focus good. But $18, I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and buy that too. Why not? But so these were all bought for the treasure chest challenge, which is totally full now. There's really no need to buy a bunch more like this unless someone has them and offers them at about 20 bucks. I'd probably buy a few more. But this weekend, all the silver I bought was these 2 coins, 37S quarter and a 38D dime for $2.50. Now, 37S, saying earlier, this is a low mintage year for these. It's 1.6 million. It's the 3rd lowest mintage of the silver quarters for Washington's quarters. So it makes it a key date one. Not as key as the 32S or 32D, but it's still a key date one. Because the more of these that are sold and kept by collectors, the harder it will be for anybody to find these. And anytime I see them, they're not very expensive like this wasn't, I buy them. I have 5 total ones, 5 total 37S's, which I thought was, when it's 1.6 million total mintage and you got 5 of them, you're doing pretty good. I do have a 32D and S and several 1932 Philadelphia, but they made about 5 million of the 32 Philadelphia, so it's not as big a deal. But 38D, a little bit of wear, but 250, it's not too bad of a price, I don't think. The ones that are really worn with the rims starting to go away are usually about 225 lately. So this one's just a bit better than them in terms that it has the rim and decent details left. It's not a real high grade one, but then you can see the Denver Mint mark there. But went on for a while. One of the 37S's. If you do, you're doing pretty good because not everybody can have one. There's only 1.6 million made, and there's a lot of coin collectors, so there are a bunch of them who want one who probably can't get it unless they find it by luck. And that's probably what happens with a lot of these. They get held by collectors and then, you know, something happens, they die, and then their kids sell everything, or they're a coin dealer and have a bunch of this stuff. Um, yeah, 37S. It's pretty neat. This one isn't in real bad shape. It's worn, but there's the S Mint. See if I can get it focused on there good enough that you can see it. I don't know how well that's coming out, but it's pretty clear. Well, out of all these, the only three that are real low, this is the third lowest. The 32S and 32D are lower, a lot lower actually. They're both under 500,000. Now the next one up after this, I think, is over 2 million. The 30s ones are pretty low, most of them. And if our memory serves me correctly, there's a couple of D Mint ones in the 40s that are a little bit lower too. But most of these they made a lot of. Anyway, it just says now nobody's watching, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and end my live stream right here. Oh wait, he's still there. You got both of those, the 32S and D. Yeah, I do too. They're not real handy, but I can get them out. Might as well, right? We're showing coins. They are in this box towards the back a little ways. $32D, 1932, and there's the D on it. $80 for what's supposed to be a fine or a round fine. This one doesn't have anything on it. $60. 32. An S Mint right there. So the 40D is a good one. I wonder if I have a 40D in my big box. I'm gonna have to look. There's a lot of quarters in that box, so we'll put these back and get the other box out. Before I get the other box out, though, I like to show this 1930S Beauty. That's, they state AU on it, and it's a pretty nice look. It's the best looking Standing Liberty quarter I have. A little wear on the shield, but this is a stunner. Okay, let's put this up. 36S and 38S, they are also lower. Okay, let's go grab my other box and get a good look at this again. That's a nice looking Standing Liberty. We'll go get the other box out and see if I actually have any of those three. Go ahead and move this. It's been a little while since I went over an hour on a live stream, but I got good company. Oh, man, this box is big, heavy. Move this stuff over here. God, that hurts to hold it like that. Oh, set it down. God, that's a big box. All right. We'll look for a 40D, 36S, and 38S in this box. It's a coin dealer type box, double wide, and this is a 14-inch guardhouse box. It's really big. All right. You said 36S. Let's see. There's another 30S, but that's not what I'm looking for. Got 4 32s in here. 35S. Oh, wouldn't you know it? I've got 2 of them, and they weren't very high priced. 36. I don't know how well you'll be able to see the S on that. It's kind of worn, but it is an S. Let's look at this one's S. This S is a lot clearer. So I have 2 36S's, which someone had marked $10 on this one, but it was sold at near melt when I bought it. Now let's see, 36S. And since we're talking about the 37S, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are all 37S's. So put together with that other one I just got, I have 5 of them, which I showed in my live stream last night. That's not what we're looking for. 36S is 3 million. We'll put that up for anybody who's following along. Okay, we'll see if we have a 38S. Get back to where these were. No 38s at all in this box. It jumps to 39 Philly. And then you said the 40D is a little bit better. Only a 1941 in here. Only have 1 in here, but it's a pretty nice looking 1940S. $19.40. Someone wrote extra fine on the card. And then you can see the S mint mark in there. It's got a little wear, but not real bad. Extra fine. You can still see some mint luster on it. And at $9, it's not terribly expensive. But no 40D in this box and no 38S. All right. I gotta go do something real quick. Wait, something out of order here. Drop that in the box. Hold on a second. All right. We're coming up on an hour. I don't have my red book out, but I can get to it pretty quick. Because it's handy. All right, we'll pop this open and have a look at some quarters. All right. Some of the Barbara quarters got pretty low mintages. The 96S, 188,000. That's pretty low. We'll get over here and look. All right. All right. I'll lay this down. Tip this up, and you can see the 32D and S are 436 and 408. And this says a very good 8. 175 is the price. This is a 2018 book. That's just a suggestion, though, really, because, all right, 36S, 3,000,008. You said that. 37, 1652. 1,652,000. 38S is 2,000,008. 39 is 26. 40D is 27. Yeah, them are a little bit lower numbers. After that, you're seeing nothing less than about 4 million on the 46S and 5 million on the 47S. But all the rest of them are mostly 10 million or more all the way out. 55D is a little bit lower, 3,100,000. But have you looked? I'm looking for a Barber quarter. I have yet to add any to my collection. Well, for your continued support, I might be sending you a Christmas card. In fact, I think I'm going to, as long as you still got your P.O. box. I need to send one to you and Frosty anyway, because you guys sent me stickers and comment on my videos a lot. But anyway, any of these red books have good information in them in terms of how much was minted, and this is a 2018 one, but it's only $1 at a flea marketplace. The prices vary, but what doesn't vary is all the details on the coins and the mintages and all that kind of stuff. That is all the same. That doesn't change. The only way it would ever change is if there was a misreported number minted, and then they issued a new statement saying how many there were. But it was really nice of AG Stacker to send me this button, this Monarch Metals Egyptian theme, 1 ounce bar. It's not really a bar, it's kind of a rounded bar. And the silver star. And his Christmas card, he had put this in for me. A mercury dime that's been cut. A little hole in it for jewelry purposes, which I thought was kind of neat. But yeah, I'm going to get together a few more Christmas cards to send out to a few more people. You might be having a little surprise in yours. We'll see. But I've been online for over an hour tonight. I gotta go to work early tomorrow, so I feel like it's probably about time to say have a good night, and we'll see you all next time. And hopefully some people who missed some of this can rewind their way through it and catch a few things they might have missed. But silver did open a little bit lower on the the Sunday evening market. I'm not have access to the computer to really say where it is now, but it is what it is. It goes up and down every day. But check your email when I sent you before, because you sent me the sticker, so you have it somewhere, or you can get access to it. And for those who are watching and don't know who OCCC is, go check out his channel and like and subscribe if you like his content. Go check out Frosty's channel and like and subscribe if you like his content. And check out AG Stacker 1776, his channel and contacts. Um, let's see, where were we? I think for now I'm going to go ahead and bring this down. I'm going to check my email real quick and send you something. But I hope, yeah, I'll go take a look. Well, you had it at one point to be able to send me the sticker because there's no transporters and stuff where you can just beam something around. Wouldn't that be something? Make shipping stuff a lot easier. But anyway, I hope you all have a good night. I'm going to go ahead and end this, and we'll see you next time.